welcome back from the weekend. This is Angelo Young with the Daily Opinion Podcast. Fact check, not checking no facts. I hope everyone had a fun weekend. Nothing too crazy happened. I know the United States bombed a girls' school filled with little girls and may have wiped out or taken out 160 of them. So rest in peace to them. Truly, no jokes. Rest in peace to them. Terrible thing. But other than that, let's just keep it on a positive note, or just a not such a morbid note for the rest of the podcast. I'm trying to just get through this. I'm trying to figure out how fast I can kind of just jump in and just start working immediately versus setting everything up. So we'll see how it works, but I think it's going good so far. So let me turn the sound off. Here it says, essentially, I'm just going to read it. Senator Rick Scott just introduced a bill to suspend pay for all members of Congress during government shutdowns. The No Budget, No Pay Act would block lawmakers from collecting their $174,000 salaries until federal workers get paid again. Scott says it's all about accountability. If Congress can't do their job, then they shouldn't get a paycheck. That is absolutely right, and I don't understand how this was ever not a bill. I don't understand how... Again, this is just them stomping on the little man. How is it even close to fair that a person who's highest up, who's dictating the lives and the well-being of the people underneath them, are able to still get a check that's ridiculously, not ridiculous, but ridiculously priced, $174,000, which... I don't know. I would say it's a little low for a lawmaker, which is probably why they do all this illegal stuff. As in, what is it? Trading stocks and whatnot and getting bought out and using APAC money. I mean, APAC money technically isn't illegal, but, they'll do fraudulent things with their own, their own money, their own funds. So it is what it is. But, I don't understand how they've even been exempt from not getting paid. They're a federal worker too. If people at the airport aren't getting paid and they're having to work for 3 months at a time with no pay, number one, the president should get no pay, which doesn't really apply to Donald Trump because he has billions of dollars in his own bank account. So I don't think he's going to be hurt by it. But, and that's the thing, even with these, congressmen or, whoever else, senators, make them hurt a little bit. If they're making that much money, they definitely have some set aside that is not going to kill them, number one. And number two, it's killing their people for, the people that voted them in. So why not? It makes perfect sense to me. So maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm misstepping here, but makes sense to me. If you want to screw around and not, help out your constituents, then you don't get paid. You're good. And you're making damn near $500,000, $250,000 a year. You should have something put away for a little nest egg, so you should be fine. Here, and let me see this. Let's see. So there was a law trying to be passed in Florida, I believe. I'm trying to find it. I'm not able to. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, it was Tennessee. I've been telling people it was Florida the entire time. They were pro-life Tennessee Republicans introduced bill to execute women who get abortions. So this is interesting to me because I'm like, you're pro-life, but then you kill a woman for getting an abortion. And that's the thing. We're also seeing the demonic side. And I don't like speaking in terms of angels or demons or religion or anything like that. I'm not religious, but when we start getting into hey, this person's going to die unless we take out this thing, which is not a human just yet, from their body because they will not make it. And then other people are dictating, no. I'd rather both of them die, which that's just straight up evil. It's literally just evil. I want both of y'all to die rather than one person survive. That's just straight up evil. It makes no sense. It's literally no logic to it, just straight up evil. So, and let's see. I'm going to read the entire thing out. A dangerous amendment has been drafted into the Tennessee General Assembly that results in the death penalty for women who get abortions. The amendment, sponsored by Representative Jody Barrett and Jody Barrett R. Dixon, I don't know, and Representative Mark Pody. Oh, Lebanon. Okay, I guess these are the counties that are representing them. I have no clue what this is. Attached to the House Bill 570 and its Senate counterpart would alter existing homicide laws to count harms to fetuses the same as a fully formed child outside the womb, which means prosecutors could charge someone who obtains an abortion with a fetal homicide, a charge that under the Tennessee law carries penalties ranging from life in prison to the death penalty. Right now, Tennessee already bans abortions from the point of fertilization with limited legal defenses for doctors under specific circumstances, but the proposed changes would go further by removing explicit protections for pregnant patients and folding abortion cases into the state's broader homicide framework. This bill is still under review in the committee and has not been scheduled for vote. State abortion law remains among the strictest in the nation, and this proposal reflects how extreme Republicans have gotten when it comes to reproductive health care. Yeah, these fucking white folks are evil as fuck. I'm not saying all white people, but like, clearly this is evil. Like, I don't even know what, like, because that's the weird thing with me is that and I know this is turning like a political podcast. I don't care. Like, I do care because I don't think it's fun to listen to, but I mean, this is pretty much, I have like, less than 20 listeners. So, I mean, hey, they've tuned in for whatever amount of time. They tuned in for all this shit. They know what they're getting, I guess. It's bonkers to me because, like, when I was younger, I would hear, like, why is a man dictating a female's body? And I was like, well, you know, you can be a doctor. Like, just because you're a girl doesn't make you, like, the leading, like, mastermind on, like, your own body. Like, a doctor can probably, like, I'm in my own body, but a doctor can definitely tell me, like, bro, you need to, like, you know, take this pill or do this thing because, like, your body's, like, getting fucked up, like, essentially, like, hey, you have diabetes, bro, like, you need to take this insulin. Like, they would know better than me because they're professionals. But it's weird when they're not trying to help the person. Like, if you're just taking charge of someone's body because of the fact that, like, God told you so is insane. Like, I mean, honestly, the whole God thing is just insane to me. I'm like, and most of these people don't even follow God in the first place. It's just a very silly thing that they just don't, because, you know, and if you listen to the podcast, you know, I've said this plenty of times, like, most people kind of stagnate in mentality between the ages of like 12 and 15. Actually, let me, this is going to be a fact check. Yeah, I couldn't find anything that backs up my claim, so I'm probably lying, but I believe this. I saw it somewhere, but I do believe this, that most people, like, mentally, they kind of, or maybe it's just their personality is set in place. Maybe that makes more sense. But I mean, it's just insane to me that, like, someone can just believe in, like, these stories from literally 2,000 years ago that, and well, that's the thing. The main thing with me, like, okay, the Bible pretty much was just set in place so that people weren't killing each other. They were like, hey, you go to a good place if you're good here, so please stop trying to rape and murder. Like, and there's still some people that do it, they don't care. But the thing with me is that there's a whole Bible in place, and they don't even read it. It's weird that they only listen to, like, the hateful parts. Like, yeah, hate gay people. And it's like, well, they say love your neighbor too. And they're like, no, I fucking hate my neighbor too. You know, it's just a weird coincidence for me that, like, they love Jesus so much and, like, Jesus did these particular things. And then they're like, well, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like, you know, even with Republicans and, like, immigrants or whatever, they're like super against immigrants and, like, go back to your own land. And it's like, well, Jesus was like, you know, at one point your people were immigrant. They're like, I don't give a fuck about that shit, Jesus. Like, it's just such a weird thing that they, like, I guess it's, you know, what most people call just mental gymnastics of, you know, I don't even know what I hope I don't do this in my daily life, but I genuinely don't know what that is, but it's a sad thing. But yeah, like, you know, I just like to see, because I even saw that, like, even in case, like, at least in some other states, even in cases where the mother was going to die, they were like, no, still have the baby. And, you know, it begs the question, like, so at a certain age, you just don't give a fuck about people's lives, and you're like, no, bring in the new people, you know? And it's like, that's weird. Why do you care about that when there's a more established person that can have more babies? Like, they're already at baby making age because they're having a child right now. So if you wanted to maximize the amount of children, you would have the abortion or whatever, and then you'd bring in another, or not bring in, you'd let that same woman survive and then have another kid and let her live her life. That would be the logical way to do things if you weren't, like, a complete dickhead asshole. But apparently that's not what it is. And actually, another girl, she had a pretty good take on it. If I can find hers right here. So here we go. She says, we all get it now. Abortion bans equals more unwanted children. Makes sense. You know, if you want to have an abortion, but you're unable to get an abortion, you're probably have a higher chance of like giving the kid up or sending them to the state or whatever, or, you know, you don't have the means to take care of them or anything like that. Pretty much, you know, they're an unwanted child. So it makes sense that, you know, they would probably give them up, or, you know, they would be an unwanted children. And then she goes on to say more unwanted children equals more children in foster care. As I just said, if you don't want them, you have a higher chance of putting them, you know, in someone else's hands because either you can't take care of them or you don't want to take care of them. And obviously a lot of people are going to say, well, you shouldn't be having sex if you don't want. And I hate that argument so much because it's like, you're just saying if you don't want something bad to happen out of this, you shouldn't do it. So in my mind, I'm like, well, you shouldn't eat sweets because you could get diabetes. You shouldn't eat bacon or smoke or drink or do any of that because then when you get cancer, I can just be like, well, I don't feel bad. If you didn't want to get cancer, then you should have done everything right the first time. You know, if you get in a car accident, it's like, well, you shouldn't have been driving, dummy. If someone runs up on you and shoots you in the fucking head, it's like, well, why were you out anyway? You know, if you're just always going to blame the person for just doing what the humans do and living life, and that's the fucked up thing is that most of these people, they've lived the exact same way that they're telling you not to live, but it just never happened to them. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny how they, you know, I think they've even done a study on it. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to do a fact check afterwards, but I believe they had like a Monopoly game where, you know, people were playing it, but some people, you know, started off the game with like $600 instead of the $200, which I believe you start off in Monopoly, or maybe $500. I don't know what it is, but you had more money than all the other people. Then other people were able to roll twice on one turn. You know what I mean? And other people were able to do blah, 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 blah. You know, they just had advantages over the other play. They literally had advantages over the other players that was blatant. And everyone knows how Monopoly works. And so after the game was done and whoever won, they would ask, and they said like a high amount of the people that just had advantages were like, no, I was better than the other players. Like, I just played smarter. I played better. And so it's like, you didn't see that you clearly had an advantage over. Like, what makes you think that you were better when you were put in a spot to win? You know, and that's the case with, I think, a lot of these millionaires, a lot of these billionaires, like Elon Musk. Here, actually, let me do my fact check real quick. Yep, so I'm right. So psychological experiments, most notably conducted by UC Berkeley. What is UC Berkeley? What is UC? I always hear UC. What is UC? University of Colorado, Berkeley? Berkeley. University of Connecticut, Berkeley? Oh, University of California, Berkeley. How many universities in California are there? See, I just go down a rabbit hole. How many universities in California? California. Yeah. How many? Yo, they got, it's the campuses. Oh, I didn't know that. I bet y'all didn't know that either. They got UC Berkeley, UC Davis, never heard of it. UC Irvine, I heard of that one. UCLA, I heard of that one. UC Merced, UC Riverside, UC San Diego, never heard of it. UC San Francisco, I don't know. I tried to do a gay joke, but I don't think it landed. UC Santa Barbara. I heard of Santa Barbara. I feel like that's like a super nice area. And then UC Santa Cruz. That sounds very ethnic. Okay, so UC's taking over California, University of California. It's all one college? Yeah, it's all. Okay, cool. They killing the shit out there in California. Whatever. Fuck UC. Let's see. So psychological experiments most notably conducted by UC Berkeley psychologist Paul Piff, fire name, Paul Piff, PP. I like it. Have demonstrated that when people are given a significant arbitrary advantage in a rigged game of Monopoly, they behave as if they were superior, attributing their success to skill rather than the initial advantage. Okay, I'm just going to go into the whole thing because we got another 15 minutes and I barely got any sort of material and I feel like I'm talking extremely quickly. So maybe if I just slow it down for y'all real quick and I give you something to really listen to. All right. We're going into the world of the key findings from the Monopoly experiment. I'm actually going to be serious about this. I don't want it to sound like sexual or anything here. The setup. Researchers paired strangers to play Monopoly, but rigged the game. One player was given double the starting money, 2 dice, allowing faster movement, and $200 for passing go, while the other received only 1 die and $100 for passing go. Behavioral changes. Within minutes, the rich players displayed dominant, rude behavior. They leaned back, they spoke louder, they slammed their tokens, they ate more snacks, and they used crueler language towards their opponent. Attributing success to skill. After winning, the advantaged players frequently argued that they won due to their superior strategy and skill, completely disregarding the rigged, unfair advantage that they were given at the start. Loss of empathy. The experiment showed that the feeling of power gained through the artificial wealth caused the rich players to lose compassion, focusing on only their dominance and ignoring the obvious structural disadvantages of their opponents. All right. Lastly, the real-world implications of the experiment by UC Berkeley. Fuck UC. This experiment serves as a metaphor for how individuals in positions of power or privilege often justify their status, overlooking the initial, sometimes random advantages like inheritance or societal positioning that led to their success. Now, that's the thing. Me reading that, it felt really slow, but it probably was exactly how I need to be talking. And I also didn't fuck up a lot. I maybe messed up like 2 times, which is nice. But I'm not going to do it again. I like talking the way that I talk. I'm actually going to listen to that over again and make sure that it doesn't sound like super better, because if it does, I'm probably going to switch and just talk like that for the rest of the podcast. 1 second. I also need to stop saying 1 second, because it's like not even it's pretty much a blink for y'all. So again, 1 more second. Yeah, I can't do it. I'm already monotone. That's not a good look for me. So me trying to speak all slow and everything like that, it's not going to make the podcast any better. And, I try to put in emotion into my voice now, but again, I'm extremely monotone. It's kind of tough for me to do that. But hey, is what it is. But yeah, actually, I was thinking about it while I was listening to my own thing. I was like, how much of a like, not setup, how much of a advantage really is this? You get double the starting money, which let's say it's okay. Fact check. Bro, what? Inflation has hit Monopoly. I don't remember ever starting this much money in Monopoly. I'm choking on chicken. They say you're supposed to start with $1,500 cash. When did that happen? I used to play Monopoly when I was a kid. $1,500. The railroads is $200 each. The first little house is like 150. Hold on. This can't be right. Bro, what kind of rich game? Boardwalk, which is the last one before you hit go, is $400. All the ones at the bottom that you first hit is $60, and then the blues are $100. You start with $1,500. What are you talking about? Monopoly is a fire game. I might download that on my phone. They got a phone app. My wife was on it for a little bit. Yeah, they got a phone app. That thing is fire. I'm actually gonna download it right now. My bad, y'all. I had to stop for like a 20-minute Monopoly break. I didn't even know they just had Monopoly on the App Store for free. Do not download Monopoly Go. That's not the right one. You need to get it's just called Monopoly app. You can play Monopoly for free with friends or single player with computers. It's cool. But yeah, Monopoly is the first sponsor of the podcast. Thank you, Monopoly, for being the first Daily Opinion podcast sponsor. That's a lie. They didn't sponsor shit, but I'm talking about it so much. But yeah. Oh, what was I talking about? Okay, this lady. Bro, like it's been like 30 minutes since I got sucked into this fucking game. So looking at my Instagram, it says more children. Okay, more unwanted children equals more children in foster care. More children in foster care means more children to easily abduct into sex trafficking because they have no one to look out for them. Excuse me. Starting to understand that the pro-life really just means bringing vulnerable lives into the world for exploitation. That seems to be what it is, because a lot of these Gen 6, I can't say a lot. Let's see if we can actually look that up. Yeah, so I do understand that January 6th, like, I mean, it was probably like 500 people. Let's see. I keep having to look things up. How many Jan 6 riders were there? Yeah, because that is a crazy thing. 10,000 people came to U.S. Capitol grounds. 2,000 entering the Capitol building themselves. So from the 10,000, dozens of pardoned insurrectionists have been arrested again. I don't know. At least 33 insurrectionists have been rearrested, charged or sentenced with other crimes since January 6, 2021. That is so crazy. It's been 5 years since then. That is so insane. It doesn't even feel that way, that the government was going to get taken over by Donald Trump one time and then it was taken over again. It's so wild. And it's so crazy because like they have no give a fuck about the democratic system. And it's weird. Make America great again, MAGA or whatever, MAGA as some people would like to say. Make America great again. But then also we want to change it into an autocracy so that Donald Trump is king. How the fuck is that America? Literally, America is about democratic, not sponsorship. I'm losing my mind, but yeah, it's just no one gives a fuck anymore. They don't use words the way the words should be used. They'll just say things that are blatantly untrue. Yeah, I believe in Jesus Christ, but fuck all the immigrants. It's like, what? It goes against his own teachings. But yeah, so I think that lady is really breaking it down as easy as possible. Not saying that she did it simply, but I'm saying that it makes perfect sense where essentially they just want people that no one else cares about. They just want to be able to do with people as they want to do. They don't look at people as people. Like the same thing happens with I feel like folks that are like very high up, not even just politicians, but like, they don't view people as people. They view them as cogs. They view people as means to an end. The same thing with like, and I'm a fact check real quick. All right, good thing I fact checked myself. I thought it was Elon Musk's grandfather that got into like blood diamonds, but apparently no, it's Elon Musk's father got into emeralds. It's kind of fucked up though because they look up his grandfather, Joshua Heidelman. Elon Musk's maternal grandfather, Joshua Heidelman, was an American-born Canadian who moved to South Africa in the 1950s. He was a chiropractor, a technocratic political activist, and a vocal supporter of the apartheid. If you don't know, the apartheid was a policy or system of segregation or discrimination on the grounds of race, literally like Jim Crow laws back in America. I don't know if it was exactly like that, but that's pretty much the gist. The apartheid in Africa was caused by a combination of colonial history, racial prejudice, and economic factors. Blah, 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 to ensure white supremacy through strict legal segregation, exploiting non-white labor for industrial growth, and dividing the black South Africans to maintain power. So that's what the apartheid was. Seems like white people are, I don't want to put this on everyone, all the white folks, but like, yeah, it seems like the people in power know, like, yeah, we go in there and we try to make more white folks, and then we tell black people that they're stupid and they can't do shit. And if they go against it, we fucking kill them. Let's see. But yeah, it just, they just use them as means to an end. Like, what was it? There was like a mine that fell down, and instead of like helping the people out, they were just like, well, just fill the mine up. Fuck it. It's like, I don't know. At a certain point, it's like, yeah, you just need to be shot outside. I'm like, you're not helpful to anybody. You're helpful to people that want to make money and look and think the exact same way as you. But if you're just like, oh shit, I was born or I have more shit than you, that means I can treat you any sort of way. Because it's funny, like when shit starts to get a little bit scary, like if, let's say technology were to go down. Let's say that there is a nuke and then people kind of have to live off their own land and shit like that. Like, Bill Gates, I'd be like, what the fuck is your purpose? Like Donald or, Elon Musk, what is your purpose? Do you know how to do this shit? Like, are you really ready to do this shit? Or did you need like all your butlers and fucking servants? You've been rich all your fucking life. I don't know about Facebook guy. Like, I don't think he was rich all his life, but it's just like, bro, or even if you just were in a room with a guy and then you just made him mad and he's like, I'm about to beat your fucking ass. And it's like, well, I didn't think, it's just interesting because, again, when you get to viewing people as just a means to an end and that, you're always protected because you have money, that is not the case. Like, as soon as someone's like, no, I'm about to just shoot you, like, yeah, you got people that might throw their body in front of you, but their body in front of you. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you might still get shot, and that's just what it is. So I don't know. But either way, yeah, the whole pro-life thing, I'm like, yeah, this is clearly, I don't know. I'm like, because if people are like, yeah, I'd rather babies not die, I'm like, okay, I could see that. I can see like you making the mom go to term or whatever, as long as both parties are safe. But as soon as you're going to get into, you know, even if the mom dies, we want to try to keep the baby safe, like, or it's like, even if both of them are gonna die, we'd rather both of them die than just like one of them die. Like you just get into the world of evil. Here, speaking about Elon Musk, I didn't even realize I had this on my plate, but Elon Musk says taxing billionaires at 100% would barely make a dent in the U.S. national debt. I don't fucking believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. Here, let's look to see how much the U.S. national debt is right now. The U.S. national debt is currently at $38 trillion. That's just such an absurd price range. I can't wait till it gets to 1 quadrillion. It's like, okay, so we're never going to pay this off, I guess. Or the economy is so fucked up that everyone's making like $1 million a year and we still can't afford shit. A TV's like $50 billion. We're all making $1 million. And then Elon Musk is the only one with a quintillion amount of money, and he's like, you shouldn't tax me. I need all my money. He's like, bro, yeah. This debt, which grew by $2 trillion in 2025 alone. This nigga Trump, I'm like, if you like Trump, I just don't understand it. Like, this nigga lies all the fucking time. He'll say one thing and do the exact opposite. Because right now they're going through a whole thing on Fox where they're saying like, you know, we're gonna have some short-term pain for long-term gain. I'm like, I've never seen that with Trump. He just fucks it up and it just stays fucked up. I've never seen him fix it. I've genuinely never seen it. I've seen him come up with good ideas and then just never do anything about it. It's like nothing ever good happens. Even with the states that, you know, wanted ICE, he didn't even send ICE to those states. Like Texas, they probably wanted ICE. He sent it to fucking Minnesota. If I was a Texan, I'd be like, man, fuck Trump. I'm the one that wanted all these illegal, I'm not saying me. I'm saying I'm pretending to be a guy from Texas who is a Trump supporter. I'm not saying Angelo, but yeah, it's like, you know, if you're in Texas and then like he comes up with ICE and he's like, yo, like they're so scared we're shooting people in the street, like we're really about that shit. And then you're like, yeah, I like that, Trump. Yeah, he's going after it. He's doing what we want him to do. Kill the immigrants. Go do all that extra bullshit. And then you sitting there like, why are they in Minnesota? Why are they in Baltimore? Why are they in Chicago? They need to be down here in Texas. They need to be over there in California. Like, I'm not saying that illegal immigrants don't go to those states, but I'm just saying, you know, that's where the vast majority of them are. You're spitting in my face because you know that you're not using ICE as a way to get immigrants out. You're using it as a scare tactic. So that's the thing with me is that, like, you know, even his supporters should be fed up with the bullshit. Like, bro, okay, you said you was going to run on the Epstein files. You didn't do that. Again, but the whole shit's a cult. At the end of the day, this whole shit's a cult. They don't fucking know shit. And you know what? And the thing is like after Trump's out and things kind of calm down and things get, I guess, a little bit closer to like normalcy, all these Trump supporters, they're just going to go into the mist. They're going to fade into the depths and just be like, no, I didn't, you know, I voted for him, but I didn't know he was going to go to that extent. We're suddenly going to find that nobody voted for him. We're suddenly going to find that nobody agreed with his tactics. And we're suddenly going to find that, like, all the people that are Republicans just didn't, you know, they knew that he was in the wrong. He was the one person in the wrong, even though, like, they backed him up. Like, even though they voted for him 3 times. I can 100% see that. And there's nothing that we can do because these people are not, they don't care. They don't care about anything. They don't care about their religion. They don't care about their families. Like, they do care about themselves. I think once they start getting affected, they're going to be like, oh, shoot, I don't like that. Because I probably brought this up on the last episode. But, like, yeah, there was a guy that kind of went viral where, you know, he's pulling the Trump 2024 sticker off of his car because gas prices are higher. And, you know, there's a lady that stitches it and it's pretty much like, oh, so you take it off for gas prices, but you didn't do it for like the racism and sexism type shit. And it's like, yeah, he doesn't care. He didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. He was just like, I just want to be mean to other people, and I didn't think it was going to affect me. Now I see it's slightly more difficult for me to afford things because of these gas prices. So fuck Trump now. They don't give a fuck. They're monsters. But hey, Either way, at least you're not a monster. If you're listening to this, hopefully you're not. But yeah, that's about it. Tune in next week. Hopefully we're gonna have some more positive stuff. And I'm really gonna try to stay off the politics, because I feel like I just get amped up and start yelling to the mic and everyone's like, yeah, we're not going to listen to this. All right, my less than 20 followers and less than 20 listeners, but hey, keep it up. I love you. Stay safe.